You are likely making more money today than you were 5 years ago. You moved to a nicer neighborhood, you have the better job title, and from the outside, it looks like you are winning. But behind closed doors, a very different reality is playing out. You feel more trapped, more stressed, and more financially exhausted than you did back when you were practically broke. Society dictates that success is an aesthetic. The moment you secure a promotion, the immediate expectation is that you will mathematically match your new income to an upgraded lifestyle. You are supposed to trade in your reliable older vehicle for a luxury lease, move into the trendy zip code, and upgrade your wardrobe to fit your new corporate title. Feeling broke while earning a professional salary is a deeply isolating psychological burden. You cannot complain to your friends because they assume you are doing great. You cannot tell your family you are struggling because you are supposed to be the successful one. You are forced to constantly maintain a character. Some of the most durable wealth builders in history, like Warren Buffett, have always operated on a completely different frequency. They understood that visible status is different than actual security. They kept their lives simpler than the market expected and treated restraint as a serious defensive strategy against the trap of modern consumption. When you take hard-earned capital that could be used to buy your actual freedom and use it to rent an image of stability, you are spending your real peace of mind to purchase the appearance of having it all together. Without realizing it, your premium possessions have quietly become your prison guards. The first quiet cost of upgrading an aesthetic is the loss of your professional courage. True professional courage has nothing to do with being aggressive in a boardroom. It is the mathematical ability to say no, to negotiate without fear, and to walk away from a bad situation. Imagine sitting in a meeting where your manager makes an unreasonable demand, asking you to work through your third weekend in a row. If you had zero consumer debt, you could calmly set a boundary. Instead, you swallow your pride and agree. In the back of your mind, a terrifying calculator reminds you of the luxury car payment and the massive high-rise rent due on the first. You are a hostage. This chart illustrates how leverage disappears. When overhead meets income, you desperately need a paycheck, but someone living modestly possesses the power of no. By calculating your walkaway number and cutting overhead, that expanding space becomes your literal safety net. A higher salary provides no leverage if it is entirely consumed by overhead. When stretched to your financial limit to maintain an image, you are forced to prioritize a paycheck over your boundaries or professional risks. True career power is only built by keeping your baseline costs low enough to actively protect your autonomy. Upgrading your lifestyle also locks you into the social escalation trap. When you lease the premium car and move into the luxury building, you send out a specific signal that attracts peers playing the same game. Suddenly, your social environment requires a massive, unceasing flow of cash just to participate. This environment extracts a heavy ego tax. You sit down at a trendy restaurant with your peers, quietly ordering the $30 chicken because your bank account is stretched. The table orders premium wine and shared appetizers, and someone cheerfully announces you will split the check evenly. You hand over your credit card and silently finance a $180 meal you did not even want, simply out of fear of looking broke. Beyond the social pressure, there is the exhausting friction of maintenance. A sprawling 3,000-square-foot house requires weekend cleaning and lawn care. A luxury imported vehicle requires expensive synthetic oil and premium insurance. Instead of resting your exhausted mind, you become an unpaid property manager for your own lifestyle, spending your free time maintaining the aesthetic of your success. Your day one action to escape this is the ego detox. The next time you are invited to a lavish destination bachelor party or an expensive dinner, use this exact script. Look them in the eye and calmly say, "That is not in my budget right now." The people who genuinely care about you will gladly come sit on your couch and drink a $2 cup of coffee. Maintaining a friendship that requires a massive minimum monthly spend functions like a high-cost subscription service. It drains your wealth rather than enriching your life. This diagram illustrates margin. Engineers build a massive gap of safety to absorb unexpected shocks. In personal finance, it works exactly the same. But when people get a promotion, they upgrade their lifestyle. The expense line rises to match income, completely destroying their breathing room. Living with zero margin turns inconveniences into emergencies. If you have a thick cushion of cash, a flat tire on a Tuesday morning is a mild $500 annoyance. You pay for it and move on. If you have spent all your margin on looking successful, that exact same flat tire sets off a high-interest domino effect of panic, forcing you to delay paying other bills just to keep the facade from collapsing. Your day one action is to rebuild your invisible shock absorbers. Automate a monthly transfer to a completely unlinked, boring bank account. The objective is to construct a literal cushion of unspent cash that you do not see when you check your phone in the grocery store checkout line. Human beings were not biologically designed to operate at 99% capacity at all times. That chronic humming anxiety you feel staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning is a tax. You pay it every single day for prioritizing outward aesthetics over actual internal security. The most mathematically devastating cost of the modern aesthetic is the misunderstanding of how a dollar works. Ordinary people view a dollar as a static coupon to be exchanged for an object right now. True wealth builders view every single dollar as a seed for their future freedom. When you spend money on depreciating luxury, you are eating the seed. This graph reveals the exact mathematical theft. Leasing a premium car creates a $36,000 loss. Investing that same money for 25 years creates an exponential compounding curve, representing massive chunks of autonomy. You traded early retirement and career flexibility for temporary admiration. Your day one action is to stop rating your own capital. Identify and cancel exactly one aesthetic maintenance expense today. Take that exact dollar amount and immediately redirect it into a standard investment account. Let time do the heavy lifting. Millions of hardworking people are terrified of looking ordinary today. By financing a theatrical performance to impress an audience that does not actually care about them, they mathematically guarantee the destruction of their own freedom tomorrow. To step off the exhausting treadmill of appearances, you need to discard your old metrics. Stop calculating your top-line income. Start calculating your margin score. This score is simply the exact boring daily gap between the money you bring in and your baseline survival number. You must entirely redefine what success looks like in your daily life. True success is an older, paid-off vehicle that requires zero monthly mental bandwidth. It is politely passing on the expensive group dinner and feeling absolutely no shame about it. It is a modest, highly functional home that leaves your entire weekend completely free for actual living. I want to give you a profound sense of permission today. Give yourself permission to downgrade your aesthetic. Let the people around you win the competition of appearances. Let them have the newer car. Let them have the bigger house and the glamorous debt-financed vacations. Smile, be happy for them, and quietly walk in the opposite direction. At some point in your adult life, you have to face a definitive, agonizing choice. You can choose to look rich to strangers today, or you can choose to actually be free tomorrow. The math simply does not allow you to have both. The wealthiest, most deeply content people in society are almost always the ones you would never notice walking down the street. They realized long ago that dismantling the illusion of an audience and holding the quiet leverage of unspent capital is the highest, most impenetrable form of luxury in the modern world.